President Trump getting to talk to you here on Air Force One is pretty incredible. Thank you, Caroline, for bringing us in. I wanted to start with this. Why do you think young men are so overwhelmingly coming in your direction? I'll give you an example. My sons, 17, 14, and 10, they did a test pre-election vote. All boys school, you got 80% of the vote. 12 to 18-year-old young men and boys. Why do you think you're reacting? Why do you think it's working so well?
Well, I guess it's a lot of factors, frankly. Some I can't say because that's just better off not saying. But part of it is because it's working. It's all coming together. The country's coming together. Today, one of the biggest chip companies, the biggest in the world, announced they're going to spend $200 billion. Apple's going to spend $500 billion. Johnson & Johnson announced yesterday they're going to spend tens of billions of dollars. And we have numbers like we've never seen before. There's never been anything like this. I think they see it working. The border has zero. You know, the closet outside of the border used to be so full it would go miles down deep into Mexico, right? There's not a person on the closet. They have somebody sweeping it.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's ever seen anything like it. And by the way, all it was is the president had nothing to do. We didn't change the law. The laws are there. Just said, don't come. And I think they see it's working.
Kamala's talking about running for governor. Would you give her any advice as a politician? Do you think she should run? Do you think she's going to do it? What do you think her future is?
I'd let her run. But she's as far as, I don't want to be giving people advice politically, but one thing she's got to do, she's got to start doing interviews.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get away with both of them. But during the COVID things, he did no interviews. And he got away with it because of COVID, because, you know, you were able to do things that you couldn't do. It was a great election, this last one. And I do think I think it's much more historic, the way it happened, than if I had gone and typically.
Don't you think in some way it's better because you have the Senate and the House now in 24, you're able to be more effective than you would have been in 20 probably?
It's better because it shows how bad they were.
Yeah.
They were so bad, and it shows that. And when you see, you know, you're comparing it to the worst president in the history of our country, and I think in that way it's better. What they were doing didn't work. And if I would have done it more traditionally, you know, we wouldn't have known that better.
The Philadelphia Eagles are coming to the White House soon. I know you were at the Super Bowl. They booed Santa Claus, Philadelphia Eagle fans did back in the day. I know you're a big sports fan. What did it mean that you were cheered at the Super Bowl? What does it reflect that sports fans seem to be coming together for you, and that the Eagles are coming to the White House this time? They didn't want to come the last time. How have things changed?
Well, and actually they did want to come. A lot of people wanted to come, including the coach, who was a terrific guy, by the way. But the coach wanted to come. The general manager wanted to come. The owner wanted to come. They had a lot of people want to come. Some of the players wanted to come. And I just said, just forget it.
Right.
I also had the problem with the San Francisco basketball team.
Golden State Warriors.
They said, well, we'll think about it. And I said, you don't have to think. You're uninvited. I said, if you have to think about it.
Right.
After I did that, you know, most people did come, but people don't write about that. The baseball teams came, the ice hockey teams came. But we had one problem with football. New England came. They all came.
Yeah.
So we had, look, it's a great honor to come. And I think it's a great, let me just grab that, okay? What's that? So I look forward to having the Eagles. And one other thing, we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs after that because they missed their turn because of COVID.
Oh, that's great. What I know. Yes. I know Randy Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' mom. She sent a video that OutKick shared right before the election endorsing you, and I know Brittany Mahomes is a big fan.
I love those two women. They're so great, and so loyal. I think they're great. As you know, I met Patrick's mother.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Just before the game started.
Right.
She came over. And Brittany, I've seen so much of Brittany that it just, you know, being so loyal and great and beautiful. So it's really nice.
What do you think when, for a site like OutKick, NFL players, John Jones at the UFC, I know he brought the belt over, Christian Pulisic, great soccer player, They all do the dance that you made famous. Football players everywhere. College, it's everywhere. What does that reflect about the culture changing in the time that you've been president? Does it feel different to you?
So they did a poll recently, and they rated the best opening month of the history of the presidency with, let's see, with George Washington, number 2. That's had the second best.
Yeah, second best opening.
You know who did it also? Bill O'Reilly. Good old Bill.
We have Bill on the show a lot.
Oh, really? Well,
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He did a poll.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at that stuff.
Yeah.
He said Trump was number 1, George Washington was number 2. I said, all right.
You'll take that.
And, not bad. But we did. We had a great opening month. We had a great second month. Now it's 2 months already. And the second month was equally as good to the first. And I'd like to see if we could stop the soldiers being killed, even though they're not American soldiers. Although it could, a thing like that could lead to World War III, in fairness. But I think it's somewhat under control. I had a good relationship with President Bush and actually a good relationship with President Zelensky, too. It'd be a great thing to be able to stop it. And I will say this, nobody else would have been able to.
I agree.
Nobody. Zero.
Don't you think if you get the war stopped, honestly, you should be a Nobel Peace Prize contender? Wouldn't they give it to a Democrat if he got it done?
I think Norway, if it's Norway, if they're the ones that actually, nobody really knows what that's all about. I know Obama got it for no reason. And he didn't even know it. Though.
Yeah, that's right.
He won the race and they gave him the Nobel Prize. He didn't do anything. So it's obviously a very liberal situation. But if they want credibility, they'll have to do. We thought we were going to get it for 3 or 4 different things. We thought we were going to get it for the Abraham Accords, which are now starting to kick in again because others are going to be joining. But the Abraham Accords were amazing.
You saw Tim Walz. I know you talked about Tim Walz saying he could beat up Trump supporters. Did you see Caitlyn Jenner said that she thought she would be able to take him? Who would you take in a battle, Caitlyn Jenner or Tim Walz?
Caitlyn all day long, but I also have Kane.
Yeah.
How about Kane?
Oh, Glenn is an awesome guy. He challenged him. I put up 10 grand for that too. And the challenge is, I don't think Tim Walz has responded
By
yet.
the way, that one will last a second. He's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's the biggest human being.
He's an awesome guy.
He's a great guy too. He's a mayor of a town and he's all MAGA.
Why do you think that so many people in sports, on the men and women's sports, ESPN included, why have they been unwilling to say, like our friend Riley Gaines, who works with us at OutKick, that only women should be in women's sports? Are you surprised that that's ever been allowed to be political?
I think it's a 90-10 issue, maybe more. But I do notice that it's a 90-10 when the voter booths close.
Yep.
When that curtain's pulled or whatever they happen to be pulling.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't talk about it. And I don't know why. I think they make a mistake by not talking about it. It's such a simple thing. It's so basic. That, open borders, taking people from jails and, murderers and drug dealers and gang members and mental institution, people from mental institutions. I mean, I really campaigned on the last thing that I just said more than the people. And by the way, look at what happened in a period of 1 week. We have a border that's closed and so beautiful.
It's unbelievable.
And we're taking people in,
And they lied and said that they had to have congressional action. You came in and immediately turned it around.
All you need is the president would say,
that's right.
The border.
And
it's, the amazing thing, it's, I've known you so long, I feel like it's all you say. It's so basic. It's so, who would think that a thing like that would be even thought about? Open borders. Why would we want open borders? Then they say, we don't want to have any review of anybody coming in. And as soon as I heard that, I said, every prisoner throughout the world that's really bad will be released into our country. That's what happened. They took hundreds of thousands of criminals, murderers, 11,088 murderers.
Yep. We talked about that at the Georgia-Alabama game. And
most of them have murdered more than one person.
It's crazy.
Nothing good is coming out of this.
Jeff Bezos was at your inauguration. It seems like he's trying to make the Washington Post more fair.
I think it's great.
Has he talked to you about the fact that he thinks, because they let Biden get away with everything when he was in office, they started to push him. They came after you like crazy.
At length, I talked to him about it. He's a good guy. I didn't really know him in the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a difference between now and the first.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg and Bezos Jensen, who's fantastic.
I know you helped OutKick had a story, a couple of interviews that we did that were being edited that they worked out and they figured out on Facebook through Zuckerberg. What has Bezos told you about trying to be more fair in his coverage?
Just that.
Yeah.
He's really trying to be more fair. But they actually did a couple of bad articles at him. He said, "This is crazy.
Yeah.
I lose a fortune running this thing." And they, they're out of control. These people crazy. They're crazy people. They're out of control. And he's actually a very good guy. I got to know him this second time. He was up. If you look at the inauguration and look at the people that were on that stage, there was a who's who of a world that was totally against me the first time. It's a much different presidency. I have much more support.
You released the JFK files.
So,
do you think Oswald killed JFK personally?
I do, and I've always held that.
Yeah.
Of course, he helped? And based on the papers, we released 88,000.
I know.
And in fact, there was some that they needed a little more time. And we said, go over to the office. We'll show you.
Yeah.
So nobody could say they've been released. I think the papers have turned out to be somewhat unspectacular.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's true.
All right. And maybe that's a good thing.
Do you think back now, it's only been 8 months since Butler, Pennsylvania. Do you think that guy acted alone based on what you've seen, that crazy man? And do you think back to your connection now to JFK? Because thank the Lord he missed. But people for the next 100 years would have been talking about that like we talk about JFK.
It might be anywhere. I can't really be sure. I really can't be sure because it bothers me that he had 3 apps and 2 of them were foreign. And maybe it was more apps than...
Yeah.
And it bothered me that the other guy had like 18 phones. I thought it was 6, but it was 18. And the FBI is being very straight with me, I believe. And I think they weren't at the beginning, but now I think they were. They told me a lot about the case. I think maybe it won't be able to be determined.
Vladimir Putin.
But I don't believe it's something sinister by the FBI. The FBI is doing a good job. And Cash is going to do a great job.
Vladimir Putin, you said you had a good relationship with he and Zelensky. What is he like? What do people not understand about him that you think you understand, having met him now for several years?
So I know him very well. It's amazing that we didn't get into major skirmishes because of the Russia.
He didn't invade Ukraine when you were president.
He didn't invade anything when I was president. He took Crimea, and he took Georgia when Bush was president, when Obama was president, and he's trying to take the whole thing based on. And I think I don't think there's anybody in the world that could have stopped him except me, and I hope I'm going to be able to stop him. That's some very rational discussions. And I just want to see the people stop getting killed. They're losing 2,500 young kids a week.
Yeah.
And they're Russian, and they're Ukrainian. And people would say, why do you get involved? I also get involved because Biden has spent $350 billion of our fund.
Yeah.
And what I have done is I got a very good deal for it, with the rare earth and everything else, which is more valuable because I felt foolish, especially since when you look at it, take Europe, they get their money back.
Yeah.
It's a loan. Why didn't we make a loan? Why did we get so much in? Biden should have equalized, and they would have done it too. All they had to do is say, we got to spend it at the same time. But he didn't do it. Same thing with NATO.
Yeah.
Nobody did it until I came along.
Elon is doing incredible work for the country.
Correct.
He was the saving grace of the left wing of this country for having an electric car company. I know you've been helping him. How unbelievable and unfair is it to you the way he's being attacked and what people are doing to his companies?
I think it's very unfair, and I think he's going to end up coming out harder. Look, when they attacked Mar-a-Lago, they attacked Mar-a-Lago.
Yes.
They invaded it. I said, oh boy, this is brutal for my election.
You thought initially it was going to be bad for you.
I thought so. And the one thing I did is I talked to the press. I had news conferences,
Yep.
whenever anything like that happened. These were crooked people, 100% crooked. When they did something like that, or the indictment, but not one indictment, it's 4 or 5 of them,
Right.
okay? And that led to 80 or 90, or because everyone had, it was a totally rigged deal. I would go out that night and I'd have a news conference. I'd talk to the people, and the people realized it was a scam.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a scam. Look what happened. And they're all out. You know,
Yeah.
here I sit in Air Force One with you talking. It's like one of those things.
Penn State, we're going to go watch the wrestling team. I know they endorsed you.
Yeah.
What experience?
Team endorsement. They did. That's what I heard. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that great?
Great.
They're
And
great.
they're going to win. My understanding is
I
they've
think
got a
they'll lead.
huge lead.
I hear they have the best team ever put together. So.
They've won 11 of the last 13, according to Senator McCormick out there. You've got incredible reception, Daytona 500. Amazing.
Everyone.
Super Bowl.
Honestly,
You're a big sports fan.
UFC.
UFC.
Baseball games.
What is on the
You saw
bucket
the
list?
Super Bowl.
Oh, Super Bowl was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, Taylor
You know, the
Swift
only
got
thing-
booed and you got cheered.
Yeah, the only thing is they should have left it up for more than 3 seconds.
I agree.